Hello and welcome back for another cube draft, and what a cube it is. Vintage Cube is back on Magic Online and they have done it now for the first time as a Supreme Draft. Supreme Draft means you get 18 packs and you only make first picks and second picks. You take 2 cards from each pack and then you pass that pack, then you get another pack where you take another 2 first picks. So you get crazy powerful decks. And to top that off, apparently you can get duplicates. So I've seen some people that drafted this deck and posted their deck list and they had like double power cards, double Black Lotus, that sort of stuff. So this is a crazy powerful format. Our pack also has some powerful cards. It has Jace the Mind Sculptor, which I think we want to take, and it has Entomb, which is an interesting card. That said, there's also Time Spiral. I think doing the most busted thing is pretty good. And I'm not sure if I want to try and be a Reanimator. I think I just want to take the Jace and the Time Spiral and have an attempt at Storm. Yeah, that seems like the best. Yeah, let's take the Jace. Let's take the Time Spiral. Maybe we can get like a High Tide and do that. I think I want to take blue cards still. Mana Leak is good interaction. I think this format lends itself to playing on the stack more than it does to playing to the board. So I think I want to take the Mana Leak. Then the other card is Wishclaw Talisman. Maybe a Blood Crypt, Baleful Strix, or Thirst. Let's take the Mana Leak for sure. And I think I'm tempted by the Blood Crypt. You don't have as many packs because it's 18 packs times 2 is 36. So you don't have 45 cards like you usually would. So you end up having to play most of the things you pick up. So that's something you want to take into consideration. And you also don't have as many picks for lands. I think I'd take the Blood Crypt here, but this could be wrong. Ooh, Splinter Twin, Thoughtseize, Thousand Year Storm, Teferi, Emry, Corpse Dance. Maybe there is actually a sick Reanimator deck, I don't know. I'm very tempted by Thoughtseize. If people are doing a bunch of nonsense, then Thoughtseize is a good card. Thousand Year Storm, but that's something you can just get later. Teferi. Maybe we just try and force Storm actually. But then we take the Manamorphose, I guess. Splinter Twins, probably not bad either. Let's just take the Thoughtseize. Mana Flare. Mana Flare Time Spiral is decent. I think I'd take the Manamorphose if I want to do Storm. Yeah, let's take that. So far, I feel like our packs haven't been that great. We haven't seen any power yet. Force of Will, I think that's pretty important in this format. And then Steam Vents to just get good mana. Otherwise, we could take Mana Leak. It's Dark Ritual for Storm. Definitely want Force of Will, so let's take that. And Steam Vents or Mana Leak. Maybe we shouldn't be doing Storm, but with this Time Spiral, it's kind of appealing. Maybe just take the Steam Vents. Mana Leak is good, but it's a little slower. Yeah. Ooh, Niv Mizzet Reborn. I would be all about Niv Mizzet, but that seems awful in this format, just because you don't have as many picks to pick up lands. I like Jace and I like Ponder. I think those are going to be my picks. Yep. Ooh. Teferi, Time Spiral, Treachery, Dak Faden. Dak seems kind of awesome. Teferi also seems pretty good. People are doing a lot of counterspell stuff, then Teferi is very strong. Yeah, I kind of want to take the Teferi and then probably the Dak. Treachery seems like this cube wouldn't be about creatures too much. Dak stealing all the Moxen could be cool. Let's take the 2 Planeswalkers. Oh, we can take a second Jace. I like that. 2 Jace. Cryptic Command? Maybe. Otherwise there's Watery Grave. It sets us up for Grixis. Definitely Jace. Maybe we should be a more controlling deck then. Not as heavy on combo. I think I still want to take the Watery Grave. I haven't looked at the cube list to see if anything's changed. Oh, that's a High Tide. That's interesting. There's also Fractured Identity, Narset, Seagate Stormcaller. That card seems cool with Time Warp being in this cube. Thoughtseize. Definitely want Narset. That seems very good. Time Twister. It's another card that works with Narset. There's also High Tide. Are we really a High Tide deck? Maybe if you had the double Time Spiral. Man, this format is crazy. Fractured Identity is good, but it seems like maybe a little slow. I don't know. Thoughtseize is also very appealing, just Grixis control-ish stuff. I'm very tempted by this High Tide. And we don't have as much power. I'll take the Time Twister. Alright, Ancestral Recall, Mox Ruby, Mox Emerald. Oh my god, this format. This is crazy. Yeah, I think we take the Ruby and the Ancestral. Jeez, that's so powerful. Look at these cards, Mox Diamond even. Man, ooh, Hull Breacher? That card, let me just pop open the previewer real quick, but Hull Breacher seems amazing in this format too. Yeah, maybe we should just try and be like a Narset Hull Breacher type of thing. Take the Ponder as well, it's a good card. Is it Signet? It's not bad either, but this seems sweet. This pack is a little bit more of a dud. I think I like taking Azorius Signet and could take either Phantasmal Image or what else? Mind's Desire. I think maybe the image could be, well, maybe Mind's Desire. It's a bit of a speculative pick. Dimmer Signet, Frantic Search, Chrome Mox. I like Chrome Mox with Time Twister and Time Spiral, and I think I like Dimmer Signet too. Ooh, there's another Time Spiral. We could have had a pretty sweet High Tide deck then. Let's take the Time Spiral. Do I want the Signet or do I want like Collective Brutality? I think the Brutality is probably better. Another Mox, another Thoughtseize, another Narset, Strip Mine. Ooh, I definitely want to try and draft a Strip Mine deck once. Thief of Sanity. I think we're just winning with Jace. Let's take the Mox and the Narset. Maybe a good strategy for this format is actually to not do all of this draw nonsense and just try and put your opponent under a clock with creatures because people are less likely to play removal. I definitely want this Time Twister, and I think I just want to go for broke and take the Lotus Petal. It's not a crazy good card, but with this Time Spiral and the Time Twisters, it becomes a little better. Yeah, let's take that. Fendilian Click, the Mirari Conjecture, Strip Mine. Well, I don't think we're a Strip Mine deck, really. Mirari Conjecture seems a little sweet, and maybe this Click. And there's a Force of Will, I like that. There's also Polluted Delta and Scalding Tarn. I think I want to take the Delta and a Force. Our last pack has Leovold and Bribery. Not that much else. I guess I take the Verdant actually. And do we want to take the Bribery or the Leovold? I think we have enough to stop draws, so let's take the Bribery. Alright, so this is our deck, and now we need to make some cuts. I think Bribery is not necessarily great. I think we want to cut the Teferi. We don't really have the mana for it. Metamorphose, not needed. And these we can count as lands. I don't know if our deck is actually good, and we might have a tough time winning. Don't see us having a great win con. And we don't have like infinite counters or anything like that. I think we just want to set up this Narset combo as soon as we can. Maybe we don't need 2 Time Spirals. Or this Mirari Conjecture. It's a little slower. Yeah, and then add lands. I think we want something like this. Maybe cut an island. Or we actually don't need this mountain. Yeah, I think this is the deck that we're gonna try. I'm very curious to see how this plays, and maybe this is good, but I have no idea. I'm very excited about this. I'll be drafting a lot of this, I think. Maybe at some point it becomes a little obnoxiously powerful and just the games are too dumb, but I'm very eager to find out. Let's jump into game 1. Ready for our first round of this Vintage Cube nonsense. Let's take the play. And we have this hand, so we can play a turn 2 Jace or Dak or Time Twister with no way to interact with our opponent, but I have no idea if this is good enough for the format, so I'm just going to try and see where it lands. So let's start by a Mox Emerald, then Polluted Delta. I think we just fetch an island and then play a Dimmer Signet. Say go. Island. Oh, nothing else. Okay. We can Chrome Mox and Time Twister, or we can just slam this Jace. And I think I just want to slam a Jace. That resolves. I think I'll just draw 3, go looking for a Force of Will. We found another Jace. I think I want to put back Jace Fiend's Prodigy and then hide the Time Twister on top. Pass the turn. Mystical Tutor. All right. Let's see what our opponent finds. I've also seen some pictures of people having like 4 Time Walks in their deck. Lightning Bolt. So they're going to bolt our Jace. Well, we have another one. So they bolt the Jace. That's fine. That happens. And then we draw our Time Twister. And I think we just play another Jace. And then I'll uptick on them just to protect it from another bolt. No, they can have an Ancestral Vision. I don't care about that. And next turn we Time Twister. They suspend the vision, play another mountain. I think we're doing all right. I think we can also get rid of this Jace Fiend's Prodigy, cast Well, actually, yeah, I'm gonna do this. Then do I even want a Time Twister here? I think I do still. Time Twister. Okay, not the greatest. Brainstorm. Put back to lands. Play a land. Thoughtseize our opponent. So Lightning Bolt, Pyretic Ritual, Mox Pearl, Time Walk, Goblin Electromancer. I think we take the Time Walk. And then we can just play an Azorius Signet or a Ponder. But I think I just develop our mana more and then pass. So their current hand we can beat. I think they're a Storm. We do want to find a Narset and then follow it up with a Wheel. So they drew the Watery Grave then. Goblin Electromancer is fine. And we take our turn. We know we have another land on top. So I think we just start by pondering and put Watery Grave, Island, Narset. Shuffle, no. Play Narset. We know they have the Bolt, so they can bolt the Narset, but that's fine too. Do we want to counter this? Don't think I care. Let it happen. Take the Mox Ruby. Now we can bounce their Electromancer. Think I just don't care. Maybe I just start plussing. Turnabout. No, they can have a turnabout. That's fine. And ponder. And a scoop. All right. That was interesting. I wasn't too scared of what they were doing, to be honest. I've seen so many busted things that I'm not even... I was like, oh, maybe turn 2 Jace isn't good enough. Obviously, it's still very strong. But it could just not be good enough. Well, we have Ancestral. We don't have any fast mana, but again, I don't know this format well enough, so I'm just going to keep. Hopefully our opponent just doesn't have like a flurry of Moxen. Spirebluff Canal, Mox. They paused and then they played a Mox. So are we just going to get like, okay, it's another Mox. Time Twister. Yep. That's kind of what we wanted to do. I think I will start with Watery Grave, play that, untap, play this, and then look at their hand, see what else they're working with. Vamp, Mystical, Lightning Bolt. I think we just take the Vampiric Tutor. Mystical is also kind of scary. Let's play this Lotus Petal too, just in case they decide to Time Twister again. We have a Jace next turn. We just want to be careful and play around a Bolt. So we do want to plus Jace. Ooh, or we can play Dak Fade and steal one of their Moxen. Kind of into that. So make red. I guess I should have just played Ponder first. We can steal their Mox Jet. And they will bolt our deck. That's fine. Now our Jace becomes a little better. Steal their Mox. Mystical. Curious what they Mystical for. Maybe another Time Twister. If they find another Time Twister, I'm not going to bother playing this Ponder, I don't think. Tinker. Well, then I do want to play this Ponder. I don't want any of these cards. Yep. Narset. So they can Tinker something big. Hopefully it's something we can target and bounce with Jace. Yep. They Tinker. Blightsteel Colossus. That we can bounce with our Jace. So I'm not too scared of that. Boop, boop, boop. Jace. And then I think we know their hand. Let's not accidentally draw. Bounce their Blightsteel and say go. I think they have like the Expansion Explosion, a Mountain, and a Watery Grave. That's it. So now they have one unknown. And we also get to Narset Time Twister. So I think we do want to do that. Time Twister. And that wins us the match. Yep. And we could also just plus Jace to make sure they're not drawing anything. So unless their last card was exactly a counterspell, this was going to win us the game. Pretty sweet. I think our deck was very well matched against our opponents, but see how it goes in round 2. This cube is crazy. Okay, round 2, we're under draw. We have this hand. It's a lot of lands, really. We have a Mox and a Ponder. I feel like I should mulligan this, probably. Can keep up Mana Leak. They mulliganed. You know what? I'm just... Like I said, I want to see how busted this format is. I'm just going to keep this. I think it's still playable. And we just have to learn and evaluate these cards considering this format. All right, let's see what they can do. It'd be so funny if someone just drafts mono red and starts clobbering these people on turn 1. Island, yeah. Most people are playing blue, I guess. Mana Vaults. All right. Black Lotus. Scary, scary. They can play a 6-drop on turn 1. What is this? Bribery. Well, joke's on them. I'm pretty sure we don't have a creature in our deck. No, we have Jace. But if they flip Jace, then it comes back to us. So, yeah. And then they have 2 cards in hand. I think we only have Jace. Pretty sure. Hull Breacher. Right. I forgot about that one. And now we draw the Force of Will. Of course. Well, we just need to find a Jace to bounce this Hull Breacher. Or we also have Collective Brutality to kill it. I'm definitely boarding out Hull Breacher then, if they have Bribery. A Swamp, Thoughtseize. No, let's mana like that. We still have a Force, so we just need to find a Jace, really. And then Hull Breacher makes this Ponder not a good idea. Yeah, we get to, well, we get to maybe shuffle, but I'd rather just have the extra blue card. Let's play the Steam Vents. Pass. Hull Breacher seems like a crazy card in this format. They take some damage. We're also taking some damage. Yep. Take our 3 down to 14. Another Force of Will. Think I can wait another turn on having to play this Ponder just to shuffle and maybe find something. I don't know if that's even correct. It does give them mana, but at least it doesn't draw them cards. Yep, Hull Breacher gets in. We go down to 11. There's the Jace, and we have Force as backup. So let's see if they have something. They don't. Return this Hull Breacher, and then we can just Ponder again. Ooh, Time Twister with Hull Breacher seems good. So let's go Island, Time Twister, Chrome Box. Nope, don't shuffle. And I think we're in a pretty good position now. Yeah, next turn we get the Hull Breacher, Time Twister, and have Force backup, and have a Jace. That seems good. Man, this format is crazy powerful. This is like Vintage on steroids. Some of these cube decks might be better than Vintage decks. Ooh, Black Lotus. I don't think I care about this. I can counter whatever they play with the Lotus. I make red, Soul Ring, sure. I guess it's scary if they have like Empty the Warrens. Manamorphose. Yeah, I think that just happens. Yeah, maybe they have a Storm card and we were supposed to force that. Let's see. They're making black mana and a blue. What do they have? Goblin Electromancer. Tendrils. Okay. We're not dead to this though. And I can technically force one of the Tendrils to gain life. I think I maybe should. And next turn we bounce the Electromancer with Jace. Next turn we bounce the Electromancer with Jace, and then it gets Time Twistered away. Then they have a draw. Otherwise, well, we also have the Hull Breacher to just block the Goblin Electromancer. So maybe we just leave it out and we start plussing. I think that is better. I do think I have to. Well, no, I go down to 1 anyway. This is tricky. Otherwise, I'm not using the Forces, but going to 2 versus going to 3 is not a big difference. And maybe I'm better off putting the Force underneath the... Well, actually, no, because then I can't force anything else anymore. So let's just force that copy. And then play the Swamp, play the Hull Breacher. And we can use the Hull Breacher to block their Goblin. I should have played the Chrome Box, perhaps. Okay. And now we have Collective Brutality 2, and we can kill their guy and gain a bit of life. So, yep, we have a ton of mana now too. Yep, discard a card. I think we can get rid of this Delta. Then look at the top card of their deck. Thoughtseize. No, they can have that. I can play the Mox Ruby. And deck Fade in Hull Breacher is actually kind of fun too. Let's steal their Soul Ring. And yeah, we can pass. I think we got this now. Palms are sweaty. Yep, we win. That was a nice comeback. Jeez. All right. The question is, do I want to cut the Hull Breacher just because they have Bribery? I think I do. And maybe I just replace it with a Bribery of my own. They can take the Jace, and the Jace is good. But if they flip the Jace, it goes back to us. We also have Vendilion Click. I think it's fine if they take Vendilion Click, but if they get Hull Breacher, that's just too bad for me. So let's try this. It's a little annoying because now we only have Narset to really combo. I like this hand. It's not super fast with mana, but it has some powerful cards. It has Jace, Ancestral, Brutality. Yeah, there's definitely some things we can do here. So let's keep. Our opponent does have double Lotus, so there's a very good chance that maybe we don't even get to deploy any of these cards. And they are Storm. Swamp, are we getting Thoughtseize? No. I think I just keep open my Ancestral in case they try and Thoughtseize me. I'm definitely scared. Mountain. Okay, and I'm not going off just yet. I think I just fire off this Ancestral, even if it means maybe having to discard. That's fine. Dack Fade and Ponder, Time Twister. Play the Blood Crypt, yep. And then I am just going to Collective Brutality my opponent, and I will escalate, I think. What do I want to discard? Maybe just a Time Twister. Don't need to. Let's see what they have. Metamorphose in response. Okay. Oh, maybe they have an Ancestral of their own. No, they just have an Emrakul and a bunch of mana. Okay. I'm not sure why I kept that hand. Yeah, I don't know. I guess. Emrakul's good. We can't counter the trigger, but they're a long way off of casting Emrakul. Kind of hoping they play one of their artifacts here. That would be pretty good if they play like Sol Ring, so we can steal it with Dak. No, they wisely decide not to. I think I just start by pondering. Chase the Mind Sculptor, I don't need any of this. Yep, let's shuffle. Mox Ruby, I like that a little better. I think we just ponder again. Island on top, Narset, Azorius Signet. So we draw the Azorius Signet and we can play it. And then next turn we get to Narset, Time Twister them. See what they do. They're miles away from casting Emrakul, I feel. Swamp. We could maybe have like a Mind Twist here. Just mana, Mind Twist. They have two unknowns. What could they be? Okay, they're starting to do something. Mox Ruby, Sol Ring. Yep. Do they have a Time Twister? That would be unfortunate. Feels like that might be what they have. Chrome Mox. Yep. It's weird though, playing the Chrome Mox for the Time Twister. Tendrils. Sure, that's a Tendrils. Deals us 10 and they go up. But now we just get to play a Jace. Or can they actually cast Emrakul next turn? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8. And this is technically 9 because it's an artifact that goes to the graveyard. And then it's 10, 11. So they're not able to play Emrakul just yet. I kind of want to get Jace online. I also want to steal their Sol Ring. So let's just start by doing that. They tap it for mana. Wise. Just play this Steam Vents, pay the life. And then I think I do just play Narset. Minus. Take the Mox Emerald. Play that as well. So they have one turn where they can maybe top deck something. Not sure what that would be. We actually could have also made them discard their Emrakul. Yeah. Do feel like I want to play this Jace. And I also want to Time Twister. I'm not going to play any of these lands because I kind of want to get an untapped one. Okay, they have one card in hand. We just make them draw. So they have to discard their card and they concede. All right, so this plan of time spiraling and time twistering with Narset and then Jace to deny them top decks has been going pretty well. Let's see if we can get our first trophy on our first try. Round 3, we're on the play. That's good. Ooh, we have Narset, Jace. We have no fast mana, but we do have a force. Like I said before, I'm currently just trying out the format, so I want to keep this and see what happens. Maybe this is not good enough. Maybe it is. We'll see. It's very hard to evaluate. Let's start by playing this Blood Crypt tapped and say go. I mean, I wouldn't keep this hand if there wasn't a force here. Well, they can probe us. That's fine. They see what they're playing against. Also an island. Mox Ruby. Yep. Jace. Yeah. Jace is fine. Dak Faden. I like Dak. Let's just play our land and pass. Our opponent has 4 cards. Let's see what they have. Force protects us against some things at least. I feel like here I want to play Dak Faden more than I want to play Narset. Could be wrong. Vendilion Click is not a bad one either, but I think I just want to take away my opponent's mana. See if they want to fight over this. If they want to fight over this, that's fine. I'll just let it go. They don't. So let's steal the Mox. They loot. Curious why they didn't loot first. Venser. Hull Breacher. Ooh, I probably actually should have countered that. Wasn't really just clicking too fast. So they can kill our Dak. They have 3 cards in hand. Loot. Yep. Tinker. Island. What is this? Thieving Skydiver. So they can steal their Mox again. This is actually something I'm kind of scared of, is a deck with creatures, because we don't have great answers to their creatures. I could force this, but that seems kind of weak, so let's just have this happen. No, I'm not sure what I'm playing towards now. They get to kill our deck, although maybe they don't care. Us activating deck is mostly just good for them. No, they do decide to kill it. Yep, alright. Another Jace. Well, this is a little unfortunate. I think I just let this happen, try to ambush them with the Vendilion Click and eat this Hull Breacher. Not in love with our position. Yep, let's just click. Cannot click ourselves. That's not going to do anything good. Take days. Now I have to force this. Jeez, I should have just forced the Hull Breacher and this would have all been much better. I have to do this now because otherwise I never get rid of this Hull Breacher. They can flip their Jace. No, they just loot. Ulamog. Okay. And they have a force of their own. You know what? I think this game is just over. I played this poorly. We don't have mana. They have this Hull Breacher that's just blanking our thing. We can't really stop it. And if creatures are really our weak spot. Yeah, they have Hull Breacher. I do want this bribery. Is there anything I don't want? Maybe cut one of the time spirals. It's a little awkward just because it's a lot of mana. And they have Hull Breacher as well. We have a turn 1 Jace, so let's keep it. I'm not sure if that's actually good enough, but we'll see. Mox Emeralds, Island. We also don't have a second blue source. Maybe we can turn to Time Twister. Could be good. Island, Mox Diamond, or discarding Wasteland. Yeah, I think a blue Tempo Shell could actually be pretty strong. A Jace of our own. I'm not sure who it favors the Time Twister here. I think it's fine to just try it. It works. Oh, I should have played my black-red land. I think I do want a Jace here now. This card is Watergrave. Don't need that. Next turn we can Thoughtseize and play Lotus Petal Deckfaden. Pass. Island. Ooh, Mox Ruby. Black Lotus. Well, their Time Twister probably better than ours. This is a Jace. Tinker. Scary. Blightsteel. Oh, actually, we can steal that with Deckfaden, and we actually have a Thoughtseize to see if the coast is clear. They might get the flip this Jace if they can. Yeah, they get the flip this Jace actually. It's not a question. What they do with the preordain. I topped something. Another preordain. Bunch of preordains. Opponent's deck looks pretty good. I think they're just looking for a counter now. We have this Thoughtseize to see if the coast is clear. So for a moment I was scared they had Vendilion Click. Let's just Thoughtseize them. They force. And they have 2 cards left. I think I want to play this Delta, play the Lotus Petal. I don't have enough mana for Click and Deckfaden. Let's just play the Deck, and then we can dig for a force. And that works. Okay, let's gain control of their Blightsteel. Let's fetch. I think we can just shock here. It's fine. And draw a card with Jace. We found another Jace. I think I discarded Dimmer Signet. And again, I kind of messed up here. I should have gotten the black source so we can Thoughtseize without having to sacrifice the Lotus Petal. I think it's better to just do this now. Thoughtseize them. Ooh, we want to get rid of this commit to memory. Then they have a days left. I guess they can Jace, but they need a land to flip Jace and then flashback, commit to memory, putting the Blightsteel in their deck. But then they're still in a pretty bad spot. Definitely sad about how I played that first game. Feel like there were opportunities for us to win that. Okay, so they say they get to do the thing. Yep, they can commit this Blightsteel, but they're in a pretty tough spot. And we have a Jace we can play also. Yep, that happens somewhere in the top of their deck. Brutality. Don't know if I really want to play that. Let's just cast this Jace. Maybe I do just play the Brutality, see what's going on. Hull Breacher. That is annoying because they can always just play that, but then we can get rid of it with Vendilion Click. Up our Jace. I think we take a chance to Brainstorm now. We have a Hull Breacher of our own. Let's put back Jace, Island, target ourselves with this. Discard the Island, probably the other Jace, and then just say go. We can also flashback Brutality with our Jace. So we know they have the Hull Breacher. They plus their Jace. Imagine they don't do anything. Time Spiral. Well, that might be good later on. Let's start by playing Vendilion Click, and I will target them, and then just cast this Hull Breacher so they don't draw the extra card. They play their Hull Breacher. That is fine. Okay, so we can't put that away. What we can do is make them draw 2 cards. Oh man, I should have bounced their Hull Breacher, of course. But now I get to look at the top. Blightsteel doesn't need to go anywhere. Just plus on their Hull Breacher. And then we get to do this next turn. So I think they're in a pretty tough spot. But a very sloppy play. I like playing fast, but sometimes that just makes it sloppy. We should have just bounced everything first, and then this would have been no problem. Now when we bounce it, they can actually just play it again. So I guess we just flash back this brutality, kill their Hull Breacher, and that does it. Yep, our final game. Yeah, I mean, if they tinker fast and we just have Jaces and out, we have Bribery, seems pretty good against them. I think I want to try and get some more like flexible removal spells. I think Lightning Bolt is probably decent in this format just because it can kill some of these annoying planeswalkers as well as some of these annoying creatures. This hand has a force, but it doesn't have much else. I think I should mulligan this. I think we have better hands in our deck. Well, this is not one of them. Yeah, this I'll keep. I think I'll put away Jace and another Jace. Just have the lands, have the ponders, and it's not a great hand, but when we're on 5, this is probably as good as it's gonna get. Island, Mox, Ruby, nothing else. Play this, Ponder. Don't want any of these. Yep. I don't think I want to play the Mox just because they have the Thieving Skydiver. Island, don't do anything. I like that quite a bit. Now's where we can get Hull Breachered. It's awkward if it happens, but it's not the end of the world. Yeah, they have it. That's fine. No, don't want any of these cards. Shuffle our library. Yep. Play the Watery Grave. Man, Hull Breacher having flash. We don't have a lot of good ways to answer this. Time Twister. And that's about all she wrote. I'm just going to concede to this. There's no way we're getting back from this. This is what we have been doing to our opponents, and they've been scooping, and they've been quite right to do so. I'm definitely going to try more of this. This seems like a fun archetype. Like I said, I think I want a little bit more in like interaction to the board. Lightning Bolt seems great, like I said, but there's probably some other wild things you can do with this. On to the next one. See you there.